off. Is your sound off?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ridgetop Yoga Retreat online class. Today will be the last live class that we'll be doing for the season. But you can also contact us if you want to continue on just the online class. We still will be offering it throughout the year. So you can just send us a message if you want to find out about keeping the online class. So today's going to be a half-hour class, and we're just going to really get warmed up pretty quick. And it's a lot of people have been requesting half-hour classes. So if you're just joining in, get into a comfortable seated position and just begin to calm your mind and relax your body. And just bring your focus to your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. And we'll get started in a few minutes. And just remember that if something doesn't feel right, if a pose doesn't feel right, just come out of the pose and wait for the next one. So this will be a half-hour practice. And take a deep inhale in through your nose. And slowly exhale out through your nose. Letting go of any thoughts that come into your mind and bringing your focus back to your breath. Take a deep inhale in through your nose, completely filling your lungs up with air. And slowly exhale out through your nose. Continue this breathing, starting from your head, working your way down, relaxing each part of your body. Feeling yourself begin to get heavy through your hips as you begin to relax. Palms facing down on your lap for grounding, or they can be facing up to receive energy. And we're just going to begin today's practice with 3 deep inhales in through our nose and just slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take a deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take another deep inhale in through your nose. And slowly exhale out through your mouth. And last one, deep inhale. And exhale. And just go back to your regular breath and gently open your eyes. Really ground down through your sit bones, lengthen your spine. Take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead, lengthening the spine, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Turn your palms facing out and exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. And exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Bring your palms together. And on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center, thumbs at your sternum, slight bow to your head. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that now. And give yourself some gratitude for coming to your mat today. And then take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Now we're going to come up to standing position. Really ground down through all four corners of your feet. We're going to come into Tadasana, into mountain pose. Ground down through your feet. Feet are hip distance apart. Palms facing forward. Roll your shoulders around, back, and down. Reach out through the crown of your head here. Take a deep inhale and exhale, focusing on your breath here. Now we're going to go into a full body stretch. So ground down through the feet, take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead, lengthen the spine, reach your hands up towards the sky. Turn your palms facing out and exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Inhale, reach up, full body stretch. You can take your gaze up for a slight back bend. Exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. And this time for a full body stretch, we're going to go up on our toes for a full body stretch. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Really go up on those toes, working on balance. And exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Now interlace your hands behind your back here and just bring your hands to that right hip. Keeping your shoulders down. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist looking over that left shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here. Then inhale back to center, bring your hands to that left hip. And on the exhale, just take your gaze over your right shoulder. Loosening up the neck here. Then inhale back to center and release your hands by your side. So now we're just going to inhale, reach our arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, pointer fingers up. And on the exhale, gently lean to the left, pressing that right hip out to the side, feeling the stretch up the right side of the body here. Shoulders stacked over each other. Inhale, back up to center, lengthen, reach up, and exhale right. Pressing that hip out to the left, feeling the stretch up the left side of the body. Then inhale, center, lengthen. One more time, exhale, left, pressing that hip out. Inhale, back up to center, and exhale, right. Inhale, center, and exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Now we're going to go into our first standing forward fold. So exhale, swan dive, forward fold. It's our first forward fold, so take a few deep breaths here. You can put a bend in your knees to get yourself deeper into the fold. You can hold opposite elbow to opposite hand. You can sway from side to side. Then release your hands. Inhale, slowly roll up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Now we're going to go into, we're going to add on to that, we're going to go into our halfway lift from our forward fold. So take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. So whichever gives you that flat back, your hands can be on your thighs or on your calves here. You're lengthening from your low back to the crown of your head with a straight line here. Engage your core, pull your belly button in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Now we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to go into tabletop after our forward fold. So we're going to take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale, we're going to go into forward fold and then come into tabletop. We're just going to warm up our spine real here. So we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So make sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. Take a deep inhale, drop your belly, take your gaze up. And on the exhale for cat, tuck your chin and round your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, take your gaze up. Exhale, tuck your chin and round your spine. Match your breath to your movement here, getting that fluid moving in the spine, just warming up the spine before our sun salutations. And we'll do one more round and meet back in neutral spine. Now from here, we're just going to flip our toes and hover our knees. So here, lift your knees about 6 inches off the mat. Engage your core here, engage your thighs, strengthening your arms here, and just hold. And then bring your knees back down to the mat, flip your toes, and just press those hips back towards your heels, reaching your arms out in front of you, bringing your forehead down to the mat. Take a few deep breaths here. Then come back up into tabletop, and we're going to go into our first downward facing dog. So flip your toes, hover your knees, engage your core here. And then begin to shift your hips back towards your heels and straighten your legs. Pressing your hips high, pressing your chest towards your thighs. You can pedal out your feet here. You can go up on your toes and try to sink your heels a little lower. You can shift your hips from side to side, bending one knee and then the other. Whatever movement feels good to you, you can do that now. And then when you're ready, press those heels up and down. See if you can sink your heels a little more. Then inhale, look up between your hands. On the exhale, walk or step forward to a forward fold. Then inhale, slowly roll up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands, heart, center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Now we're going to go into sun salutations, and for the next about 15 minutes, we're going to go into a flow. So if you want, we're going to take a few deep breaths in Tadasana and mountain pose, and then we're going to go into a flow. So if at any point you need to take a break or stop, you can always come into Tadasana, or you can always go into child's pose. So if you have to take a break, please feel free at any time. So it'll be about 15 minutes of a flow class here. So we'll take 3 deep breaths here, and then we'll begin. So we'll start at the front of our mat. And take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core here. You can always come down to your knees and flip your toes to modify. Wherever you're at today is fine. You can hold plank, or you can flow through. So whatever is in your practice, if you want to flow through, you can bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Flip your toes and come up for cobra. So your toes are pointed back for cobra, shoulders are back, palms are flat on the mat, and your gaze is straight ahead. Exhale, come back down to the mat, flip your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Make sure your weight is not on your wrist here. Your fingertips should be on the mat, digging into the mat here. Shoulders slightly rotated out, pressing your chest towards your thighs. Then inhale, look up towards your hands, and exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core here, pull your belly button in. Strong arms, shoulders over the wrists here. You can modify plank if you want. And then with control, elbows by your side, bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Flip your toes and come up for cobra. Toes are pointed back. Be careful of your low back here also. Looking straight ahead. Exhale back down to the mat. Flip your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core. You can hold plank or you can flow through, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths. Then inhale, lift your right foot up and back for three-legged dog. Then shift your weight forward and bring that right knee in towards your chest. And then bring that right leg back up towards the sky for three-legged dog. Inhale, bring that knee in towards your chest. And then extend it back out. And then this time, bring that knee in towards your chest and bring that foot between your hands. Now we're just going to shift that left leg back, going into runner's lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. Then drop that back knee and bring your hands up to your right thigh. Now we're going to go into low lunge. Bring your arms to goalpost and then raise them up. Hips are shifting forward. Then bring your hands to heart center. Frame that front foot. Flip your back toes. And we're going to go back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Then inhale, lift that left leg up and back. Bring that left knee in towards your chest. Then extend it out for three-legged dog. Bring that left foot between your hands and go into runner's lunge. Drop that right knee and come up for low lunge. Bring your arms to goalpost and then raise them up. Hips are pressed forward. Then bring your hands to heart center. Frame that front foot, flip your back toes, and lift that back knee. Step that right foot forward and come into forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. We're going to take a few deep breaths in Tadasana and mountain pose. Now come to the front of your mat. Place your hands on your hips. And we're just going to place that left foot back, going into warrior two. So your back foot, your left leg is parallel with the back of the mat. Your right front heel is in alignment with your back arch. Turn your hips towards the long side of your mat. And then put a bend in that front knee. When you're ready, extend your arms out for warrior two. Really engage your feet here. You should be able to see your big toe. Make sure your back arm is level with your front arm. Shoulder blades back and down. Now from here, we're going to go into a dynamic movement. So we're going to inhale, straighten that front knee, and bring your hands together overhead. And then exhale back into warrior two. Strong warrior two here. Strong arms, shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands together, straighten that front knee. Exhale, warrior two. Match your breath to your movement here. And next time you're in warrior two, stay there. And from here, we're just going to reach our hands in front of us, bringing the fingertips together, and then come back to warrior two. So you're shifting your hips back, keeping the hips open here. Shift your weight forward, reach those fingertips, and then come back to warrior two. Inhale, reaching in front of you, and coming back to warrior two. And one more. Now we're back in warrior two. From here, we're going to go into triangle. So straighten that front knee, shift your hips back. Bring that right hand down to that right calf, left arm up high to the sky. You're trying to have a straight line from your right hand to your left, but if it's uncomfortable for your shoulder, you can just place it on that left hip. Take a few deep breaths here. And then come back to warrior two. And we're just going to turn forward and step into Tadasana. We'll take a few deep breaths here and then we'll do the other side. So now we'll do the other side. We're going to step that right foot back parallel with the back of the mat. Left toes are forward. Make sure your heel arch alignment. And then your hips are turned towards the long side of the mat. Put a bend in that front knee. And then when you're ready, extend your arms out for warrior two. You can take your gaze over your left front fingers. Now going into dynamic movement. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, palms together, straighten that front knee. Exhale back to warrior two. Get a deep bend in that knee. Make sure you can see that big toe. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, straighten that front knee. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll do one more round and meet back in warrior two. Now from here, we're going to reach in front of us, shift the hips back, fingertips together, and come back to warrior two. Reach forward, match your breath to your movement. Back to warrior two, and we'll do one more. Now from here, we're going to go into triangle. Straighten that front knee, shift your hips back, bring your left hand down to your left calf, Right arm up towards the sky. Straight line from your right hand to your left. Then come back to warrior two. Strong warrior two. Really engage your legs. Engage your feet here as if you're trying to bring the mat together. And then from here, we're just going to turn forward and come into Tadasana, to mountain pose. We'll take a few deep breaths here. And from here, we're going to go down to the mat to seated. So we'll get there through Malasana, through squat pose. So your feet can be hip distance apart, toes facing out a little bit for your knees to follow. Take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center and just begin to bend your knees into squat. Whenever your heels begin to lift, you can stop there. Take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll come into seated position, into staff pose. Extend your legs out in front of you. Take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips and begin to forward fold. And inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, release. Now we're just going to come into seated position, easy seat, for our final, it would be like Shavasana, but since it's a shorter practice today, a half hour, we're just going to have a Shavasana in seated position. If after you turn the camera off, you can have your own Shavasana laying down, whatever you feel like you need. Just place your hands on your lap, lengthen your spine, and just tilt your chin towards your chest. And gently close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feeling your chest rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. Relaxing your shoulders, your back. Relaxing your legs all the way down to your feet. And then just bring your hands to heart center, your thumbs to your sternum. And thank you for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining in the class today, the practice. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, please just send us a message. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And have a great day. Namaste.